Okay, so now that I've sanded that second coat, I went ahead and vacuumed it, and I wiped it off with a dry rag. I didn't use any solvents or cleaners or water for that matter. I don't want to interfere with the adhesion of the third coat to the top of the second coat. One thing you can do before you apply your third coat is do a little destructive testing. You pounce on your countertop a little bit and make sure no stress cracks form. Then once you're happy with it, go ahead and lay on your third coat. I'm going to lay on this second coat for a little while because, well, dusty likey. Man, I'm good at this stuff. So, that last little bit was the last that I had. I underestimated it and it only got me this far. Obviously, I have the rest of this counter to do. I also have this little one and this one to do still. It means one thing. I gotta go to Home Depot. Yes! Okay, so I'm back from Home Depot. I've already applied the third coat to the rest of the counter. I've also applied it to the ones in the back. I don't know if you can really tell right now, but there's some lighter areas like right here and some darker areas like over here. When it's a darker area like this right now, it's still a little damp. It might feel a little cool to the touch. This is a perfect time to take like a sanding sponge. You can find them in the drywall aisle. And do kind of like a pre-sand. The reason for this is not pliable enough to move on. It's not going to damage it if you sand it already. So what you're doing is, while it's not cured, it's going to make the sanding so much easier. It's going to, if you're hand sanding, it's going to be less strain on you, and if you're using a power tool, then it's going to be less strain on the machine and you, and it's going to let your sanding pads last a lot longer. It's also going to keep a lot of the dirt down. Well, the other day when I sanded just the ones over there, it created such a dust storm. I was not happy. I did not expect that, and I had just painted these and it's caked on there. So I don't know if I'm going to have to repaint the cabinets. I'm not doing that, but I'm going to clean the shit out of them, and I hate cleaning. So if you hate cleaning too, I strongly recommend doing a pre-sand and really shaping it the way you want. Knock down all these trowel marks. Shape your edge the way you want. And it'll really save you a lot of time. Okay, so I'm done doing my pre-sand anyway. I'm going to let that cure for probably about 20 more hours. And then maybe do a final sand if it needs it. I'm sure it probably will actually, but it's just the way it is right now. I'm really happy. There is some concrete-like texture to it, and that's fine. I did this project because I wanted a concrete-looking countertop. I like the whole concrete look. I just don't want to make all the forms and all that other crap that goes with it. So, in case I didn't mention before, this started off as just a plywood substrate. I applied this right to a plywood. I think it was like a sanded plywood. You don't want to do any kind of like particle board, chipboard, OSB, nothing like that, because this is gonna make it swell. Those are all infused with glue, and moisture really makes it swell and ugly, and it's not going to be pretty. Do not use any kind of chipboard, MDF, nothing like that. Use plywood. Use a sanded plywood. It'll help you in the long run. After I do a final sand, I might play with some staining. I don't know. I kind of like the look. I'm going to clean these cabinets off. I'm going to see how it looks with the dark cabinet. If it is going to go with it. I'm going to probably wind up using a travertine. I know I'm going to use a travertine for the floor. I'll probably do some sort of travertine on the backsplash. So just play with it and see how it looks.